Hey sis, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today we're going to be discussing how do you overcome the fear of starting something. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that it took me a lot of months, I think more than 9, to actually start my journey of making money online. And one of the things that held me back was fear. So today I'm going to teach you some of the tools and strategies I use to overcome fear these past 5 years of being online that have worked for me and helped me be successful as a content creator, entrepreneur, and an online business owner. Let's get started. So I want to break our fears into 2 different categories. I want us to have our social fears, and then I want us to have our mindset fears. I feel like for me, I noticed that my fears really fell within those 2 categories. Let's start with our social fears first. One of the social fears I had before starting online was if I launch this digital product, people are going to think that I am poor, that I need money, that I'm broke. Mind you, I was poor. I was definitely in need of money and I was definitely broke. But the fact that people were going to know, I could not let that happen. And so it took me almost 9 months to actually start because that was the social fear that really held me back when trying to start that new idea. Some of you guys might have the fear of my social numbers, like my likes, my engagement, all of that is going to drop if I start this new type of content or this new online adventure or this new business or this new topic that I want to discuss on my socials. Some of you guys have the fear that people are going to actually laugh at you, right? Like if I put this out into the world and start this, people are going to think I'm a joke and they are going to laugh at me. Some of you feel as if you might actually be rejected, that certain people in your life might turn away from you if you decide to move forward with this idea. Well, let me tell you something. I decided to finally overcome that fear of, oh my gosh, people are gonna think I'm broke 9 months later. And guess what? I made $3,000 my first month selling a digital product. And all I could think at the end of that month, after making $3,000, mind you, I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. I had, I think, 3 or 4 payday loans out at the time. I had plenty of NSF fees. I would get off of work some nights and go to my friends' houses just so I could make sure my son ate dinner for that evening, because that's how much money we did not have. And at the end of that month, all I could think was, you just made $3,000. How much money did you miss out on? How much money did your son miss out on? Because you were simply afraid that people were gonna think you were broke, and you were. I guess you can already tell, I never let that fear hold me back again. Because the next thing I thought was, if I wasted 9 months of not starting, how much money did I miss out on for 9 months because of fear? How much money did I let fear rob me of? How many experiences did my son miss out on because I let fear rob me of starting online for 9 months? So I'm gonna have you do exactly what I did. I want you to write down all of your social fears. And then after you write them down, I want you then to challenge each and every fear that you have. So let's go through the ones that we stated earlier. As an example, if you have the fear that if you start this new adventure, this new business, this new topic, and your socials are going to drop, like your engagement's going to go down, your likes will go down, and your followers might actually leave. You're going to challenge that belief or debunk that thought by saying something along the lines of, they were never your target audience anyway. Even if they stayed, they were never going to buy into or support this new business adventure, this new topic, this new dream anyway. Them leaving will make more room for the people who were meant to find you. The people who are going to support you and engage with you and like your content and stay are the people who are meant to be there anyway. Those are examples of challenging that first fear of what if people leave or my social engagement goes down. The next fear we listed was laughing. What if people laugh at you? A way you can challenge this type of fear is to write next to that, Well, Jesus was laughed at. In Proverbs 29:25, it is dangerous to be concerned with what others think of you, but if you trust the Lord, you are safe. Remember that God's got you. Who cares if people laugh at you? How will their laughter ruin you? It won't. So why does it matter? So does it really matter enough to stop you from walking in your purpose? How much power are you going to give their laughter over your dreams? When I would write things like this down next to those fears, it made me feel so small. Like, girl, you really gonna give their laughter that much power? Like, someone's laughter is gonna cost you X amount of dollars? Like, wow. Like, is your dream really that small? Nah, I got big dreams over here. So if they're that big, why not act like they're that big and make something as small as laughter just disappear? Because in actuality, it doesn't matter, and it should never be as powerful of a tool to stop you from pursuing that dream or that idea that you have. The next fear we listed was rejection. What if people reject me or if they leave me because I start this new thing? Listen, I will tell you this. One of the best ways to challenge this social fear is to remember that anyone who leaves you or rejects you, it's their loss. You are the prize. I've lost many friends on this journey of becoming a CEO, a digital entrepreneur, corporate dropout, you name it. And I will never sit here and act like losing those friends did not hurt, because they definitely did. But the one thing that I have been able to stand on is knowing that it's their loss, that this life that I get to live now with my current friends is an amazing life. This version of me is a version that they've never met. And it's an amazing version. And the people that I have today in my life that I get to call friend or even family, those are the people who are meant to be here on this journey. Everyone can't go where you're going. And so if you fear people leaving you, trust me when I tell you they were going to leave anyway. And if they do leave, trust me when I tell you your people will find you. I am closer with my friends than I am my family because I lost family members along the way. And my friends have become my family. And I'm 100% okay with that because I know at the end of the day, they're going to show up for me no matter what because they truly value who I am as a person. And so to the people that left, it's their loss. You deserve friends and family who enjoy the very essence of who you are and who see your value. Let the other ones kick rocks. You'll be okay. Now that we've debunked our social fears, let's get into those mindset fears that you tend to have when you're starting something new. Some of the ones that I've struggled with and others that I've coached struggle with is, what if I fail? I don't know everything yet, so I can't start. I don't have everything I need to even get started. Oh my gosh, why would I even start when the person that I'm looking up to in this field is here and I would be starting here? Like, why would I even start? If any of those are your mindset fears, then let me tell you this. Progress is better than perfect. When I finally started online 9 months after my social fears held me back, I launched with a simple Word doc. When I tell you it was toe up from the flow up, it had spelling errors, grammatical errors. It was just a really underwhelming product. But that same product made me $3,000 my first month and $14,000 my first year online selling digital products. And the reason why it did as well as it did do is because even though it was not aesthetically pleasing whatsoever, it was still valuable content that actually worked. It still delivered results. It didn't matter what the packaging looked like. And so I had to make sure I overcame that fear of, oh my gosh, how am I gonna create this digital product? I'm not techie. I did what I knew how to do. When I put that Word doc out, that was the best I could do online. I had never heard of a Canva. I didn't know no digital designs or graphics. All I knew how to use was Excel and Word. And that's what I used to get that digital product out. So no, it did not look like your famous fitness influencers' workout plans and meal plans. It was my workout plan and my meal plan because that's all I could do was show up as myself and present the information that I knew that had worked for me. And it made me $3,000 my first month. And so I'm gonna tell you, just like you did with your social fears, with your mindset fears, I want you to write each and every one of them out. I want you to call those things out. I want you to be very vulnerable and transparent with yourself. I want you to see and hear and read everything that you're feeling mentally that's holding you back. And then I want you to challenge it. I want you to debunk each and every thought. So let's debunk the ones that we listed earlier. What if I fail? You can debunk this mindset fear by literally saying, what if you fail? And so, if I can be honest with you, some of my best lessons in life came from failing. For example, my fitness e-com store that took off. It made me $14,000 my first year, $139,000 my second year, and $500,000 my third year. The thing is this, I ended up having to walk away from it after it hit one of its highest years, simply because I was pursuing a business that wasn't my actual purpose. I started to go down a path that I never even asked God, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Simply because the money was good. And let me tell you something, when you walk away from your only source of income to then try to figure out what is it that I actually want to do, that in-between period, oh, it's tough. I felt like the biggest failure. I had to go do Uber on some days just to make ends meet. And yet, I can sit here before you now, probably the happiest I've been in a very long time, because now I know that I'm supposed to be more impactful, that should be the basis of my success, that I enjoy content creation. I don't want to run a Fortune 500 company. I want to be a creative, and using YouTube as my full creative outlet to be able to speak to thousands. I have 20,000 of you that follow me now. Being able to sit on this platform and give away the information that I've learned. Being able to speak life into you guys. You can't put a price on that. I'm more fulfilled now with YouTube only paying me, $2,000 a month than I was making almost $63,000 a month at an e-com store, teaching women how to make their butt bigger. So even though when I look back at that time period, I felt like a failure because I had to walk away from some things and my income totally changed, I look back now like, wow, I'm glad I failed. I'm glad I walked away. I'm glad I pivoted, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here today in front of you guys giving you some of the best tools I've ever used to overcome fear and finally get started. So don't fear failure, fear not starting. Another mindset fear is, I don't know everything yet. How can I start? And a good way to challenge this type of mindset fear is to remember you still know more than your target audience. People will pay you for what you know. You just need to know this much more than them. We don't need you to know everything in the encyclopedia. What you have is enough. Trust your gift, because your gift will always make room for you. Lean into it, because if God brings you to it, He will see you through it. Start with what you have. The rest of the knowledge that you're looking for, the rest of the materials that you think you need, all of that will come. Just start. Oh, my favorite one. My favorite mindset fear. I don't have everything I need yet to get started. I've said this so many times, especially when it comes to YouTube. I dragged my feet for years starting on YouTube because I felt like when I would look at some of the women that I loved online, I'm like, I don't have all that equipment. How am I gonna start YouTube if I can't do all of that with the bells and whistles? Let me tell you something. When I finally overcame that fear, one of the things that I wrote next to that fear is, even the people that I look up to now on YouTube, who I admire their channels, their editing, their filming, they too once started where I am. And those videos did not look like they look today. I finally launched YouTube years after I said I was gonna start. And I started with my cell phone. I used natural light because I didn't have a ring light. And I filmed some videos in my car and in my living room. And if I can be honest with you guys, we just got this third bedroom, January 10th of this year, to be my office, and it's nowhere near together. Look at this. I want y'all to see this. This is a mess. This is the setup with a ring light that I can't stand. I wish I had a big one. Look at this. This is us packing for our trips. I'm supposed to get a file cabinet over there so I can start to actually put all of this stuff in the file cabinets. I have to be able to organize it. All of the cords that you see, I want to be able to flush those. I have so many things that I want to do for this office. Tell me this, do you think because I don't have the office together yet that I just was going to be like, oh, I'm not going to film the videos? No, I still show up for you guys every single week because it doesn't matter that this office is not together or that you can still see that freaking electric box on my wall. I can't stand that thing. I want to put some type of shelf in front of it or a plant, but I don't have it. But just because I don't have it doesn't mean I'm not going to show up for you guys. I'm going to work with what I have, and I'm glad I do this. Because if you guys didn't see, my first month of going all in on YouTube, I made $2,800. I was only making about $200 to $300 on YouTube, but I finally took the chance and just started with what I have. So I don't care. So write down next to, I don't have everything yet, and put, it doesn't matter. My gift will make room for me. Start with what you have. And then the last and greatest fear I think we've all probably experienced is comparing ourselves. We get to that point where we're like, oh, I see her TikTok shop videos and they're amazing. Mine are never gonna look like that. So why do I even start? If this is your fear, please write it down and let's debunk that thing together. One of the ways you can debunk this, like I said before, is those people that you're looking up to. For example, I think I saw a video of Jackie Aina. Someone had posted it on TikTok, and it was a clip of one of her original YouTube videos. And let me tell you something, that video was rough, but it was so beautiful. It showed you that even she started at one point with the bare basics with filming and editing. It looked like it was shot on the phone and edited in iMovie, just how my YouTubes used to be, okay? You keep trying to compare yourself to someone who's been in the game for 10 years. I've been online since 2017, to be honest. I started monetizing my platform in 2019. Don't compare yourself to someone like me. Just because your content or your business or your idea is not gonna look like the person who's been in business, the person who's been doing it for 10 to 20 years, doesn't mean that we don't need your gift or your content or your business idea or your dream, because you're still the one that's going to be giving us the content or the dream. That's something I can never give. I can never be you. So even if what you give me is on a pixelated device that only shoots 1080, trust me, that content is still going to be just as valuable as the video I'm putting right now, shooting in 4K at 30 frames per second. You can't compare your content or whatever your dream is to someone else's. What's for you will never miss you. Doesn't matter what you're shooting on, what you're starting with. You just have to be willing to go after it. Now, after you make your list of all of your social fears and all of your mindset fears, and you debunk each and every one of those, the next thing I want you to do is set a realistic goal. Another issue I see people running into who are afraid to start is they have every step. They have step A, B, C, D written out. And they're thinking, well, I can't really get to B, C, and D, so I shouldn't even start. No, just start with A, which should be just starting. Just start. B will come, C will find its way, and D, you will get there. But you can never get to D if you don't even start with A. Stop letting the fact that you don't have B, C, and D figure out hold you back from even accomplishing A. So after you write that list and you debunk, I want you to just start. If that's one video a day, if that's getting the LLC, if that's getting just your DBA, I want you to start, and I need you to stick with whatever it is consistently for at least 60 days. So if that's getting the process of getting that DBA, go after it for those 60 days. Get everything you need to get started. Get that business bank account, get everything you need. If it's a particular type of content, start filming it, go after it. Give me a 60 days investment on just starting. When you do this, B, whatever step B is, will figure itself out. You'll be able to gain the clarity of what B is after you master A. So now that you've debunked your social fears, you've challenged your mindset fears, you're actually going to start. Now what I want you to do is I want you to visualize your life if you actually start and go after whatever it is you're going to start. Close your eyes. Visualize this. What does life look like now that it's been years since you've started? What car are you driving? Where do you live? How many kids do you have now? Are you happy? What does your spirit feel like now that you've actually started. Physically, are you healthy? Do you have friends? What does this life that you're dreaming of look like because you finally started? I want you to really visualize that. Now that you've done that, I want you to visualize your life if you never start. Close your eyes and think about it. What does your days look like? Are you still at the same job? Are your kids happy? Are you able to give them the life that they need? Are you still with that same man? What does your spirit feel like? Are you content? Is this where you want to be? This tool has helped me so many times. I'll give you an example of one of the times that it really made a huge difference in my life. My son was diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia, and his neurologist told me that I should put him in a private dyslexia school. The school cost $30,000 a year. This was a 3-year school, 6th grade, 7th, and 8th. That was a $90,000 tuition, but $30,000 a year. And when she told me that, I was like, oh, okay. I went home, I prayed about it, and I'm thinking like, wow, how am I gonna be able to afford this? I had already started my online business. My online business was making the exact same amount that my job was paying me. So I was making $5,000 from my online business, and my job was paying me every month about $5,000. And I closed my eyes. Oh, I better not cry on y'all. I closed my eyes and I thought about, what does life look like if I send my son to this school? Keep in mind, we got him tested because we knew something was wrong. Up until this point, he had never even gotten a C on anything. They're getting like 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. He would get 1s and 2s, never a 3. Just no 3s, no 4s. Maybe some 2s, but usually 1. And so I closed my eyes and I was thinking, what does life look like for him? And I saw him thriving. I saw him happy. And mind you, in my reality, he's crying almost every day. This was 2020, so we're in COVID, which made it even more worse for his dyslexia because his auto processing speeds are severely delayed. And so virtual learning, horrible. And I could see him when I closed my eyes, finally excelling in school. And so I did the opposite. I closed my eyes and I thought about life that if he never got to school. And I saw my current day, which is him crying and struggling. I saw that for the next 7 to 10 years of his life. I even saw him possibly not graduating, not going to college, not ever believing that he was smart. And so I told my boyfriend at the time, my now husband, I said, I'm gonna quit my job. And he said, what? I said, I'm gonna quit. One thing I can tell you is that if I quit my job and I go all in on this business, there's a possibility, not a big one, but there's a possibility that the business can take off. If I'm making $5,000 right now a month and I would do it part-time, there's a possibility I can make 10, 15, 20,000 if I quit my job, and I could possibly pay that tuition. But if I don't quit and I stay at my job, there's more than a possibility. There's a guarantee that I will never be able to afford that school. And so I'm going to bank on the possibility. And you're probably, now I did have the thought, what happens if I quit and go all in on this business and the business fails? I challenged that fear too. And I told myself, you'll just get another job. Like I had just finished my degree. I had almost 10 years experience in human resources. Someone will hire me. I'll get another job. And that's how I debunked that fear. So now that fear is gone, of if it fails, I have to go back to work, I'll get another job. What do I really have? I had 6 months saved up. And so I took the leap. And I quit July of 2020 to go all in on this business. He was going to start school in October. I worked my butt off. When he started school in October, the tuition was, I think, $4,000 that month. And then we qualified for financial aid. And so it went from $30,000 down to $15,000 per year. But by the time he started that school, my business was making anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a month online. And when I had quit the job, it was only making $5,000. And so I tell you all of that to tell you, visualizing the life you want will ignite some type of fire in you, When I saw my son happy, oh my God, I wanted that reality so bad. No fear could hold me back from that. And I'm glad I did. For those who've been following me, you know that he ended up finishing 8th grade with the 3.3 GPA. He's currently in 9th, he has a 3.1. He went from only 1s and 2s to A's and B's. Like, it was the best investment I made. And now when I close my eyes, that first visualization that I saw of the life he could live, I'm walking in that prayer today. Simply because I visualized it and I went after it. Now that you've debunked your social fears and your mental fears, you're standing on business that you're actually starting, you're not caring about steps B, C, or D. You visualize the life of what it looks like to actually start and what it looks like to not start. I now want you to pray and be vulnerable with God. I want you to present him with your list of fears. Ask him to help you overcome them and to help you surrender them to him. Ask him to give you the courage to help you press your way. And ask for those specific scriptures that you can use to help you on this journey of overcoming those fears. And most importantly, ask him to increase your faith. Because what I will tell you is this: even with all of the tools that I gave you, these tools, for me to use the tools and then lean into them, faith is the biggest component that I had to use to overcome fear. My faith had to be greater than my fear for me to be here today. And you're probably thinking, well, Crystal, after you've done all of this, you probably don't get scared anymore. Yes, I do. Before I turn on this camera to record, I have fear. I say a prayer. I say, God, speak through me, because Lord, you know, this fear will rise up. But my faith is bigger than my fear. So ask for more faith. 2024 is the year you start to walk into your answered prayers. 2024 is the year you start to live the life that you've envisioned when you close your eyes. And the only way that's going to happen is if you overcome your fears. I'm praying that each and every one of you were blessed with today's video. I pray that the tools that I gave you today are helpful, just as helpful for you as they were for me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If there was anything that you wanted me to elaborate on, leave it in the comments. If this blessed you, leave it in the comments. But most importantly, give me a thumbs up, because the algorithm loves that. And if you could share it. There's so many people who want to start so many things in life and they just don't because of fear. I want this video to reach them. Help me make that a possibility by sharing it. I thank you guys. You guys have an amazing day. And as always, go be intentional with having a blessed day.